Hello and welcome back to the Flaxman's YouTube channel, where we provide information and advice for businesses and consumers. In today's video, I will be talking about car modifications and insurance. My name's Eleanor Appleton from Flaxman's. We don't sell insurance, but we provide solutions for when things go wrong. So, you're buying your first car and you're a little bit short of cash, but you just managed to scrape enough together to buy yourself a 15-year-old run-of-the-mill Ford. It's not exactly a banger, but it's also not a looker. So what can you do to improve its looks and mould it to your personality? But what can go wrong? Let's imagine you decide to personalise your car. Maybe touch up the paintwork. Add a couple of stripes down either side of the car, something we call go faster stripes. Add a couple of fog lamps to the front, or even add an aerofoil to the boot lid. So what could go wrong with that? Well, your insurance company won't like it, that's what. And it could have a catastrophic effect. You don't want to go there. When you apply for car insurance, there is a string of questions, enough of them to really try your patience. But it's the detail of buying insurance that can really trip you up. There will usually be a question that asks, has the vehicle been modified? You may not even know what that means. As far as you're concerned, it's a completely normal vehicle. It has the original engine, the original wheels. You've done nothing to soup it up or increase its performance. No problem, you think. However, some insurance companies are more helpful than others and explain in some detail what it is they're looking for. For example, has the vehicle been modified or altered from the manufacturer's specification, including the addition of optional fit accessories such as spoilers, alloy wheels, etc.? So, would an aerofoil attached to the boot of your car be regarded as a modification? Yes, it most definitely would. How about the addition of fog lamps to the front of your car? Probably, yes. How about my go faster stripes? Yes. Most insurers would regard that as a modification. Okay, but surely I'd be safe just touching up the paintwork. Well, you probably would be safe, but if you did a full respray with metallic paint to a higher specification to that of the original, then you better inform your insurer, just to be on the safe side. Why do insurers have such a thing about modifications? Broadly, they have three main concerns. Some changes improve performance. So insurance companies usually charge more for fast cars, so they need to know exactly what sort of car they're being asked to insure. Other changes can be designed to improve the appearance of the car. As the owner, this might give you a lot of pleasure, but such a car is not only attractive to you, it can also be attractive to thieves. Repairs to modified cars can also be more expensive than usual. The insurance company needs to know this so they can fix the right price for your policy. And sometimes, too much personalisation can be such a reflection of the owner to the extent that the image of a young driver with an aerofoil on the back, with go faster stripes on the side and big fog lights on the front is just off-putting. Insurance companies will always prefer the image of a driver who is safe and sedate. Go faster stripes just gives the wrong impression. You say, but what about if the improvements and the modifications were put on by the previous owner and not by me? Is that still my problem? Well, yes, it is. As soon as you take on the responsibility for the car, you take on the responsibility for the modifications, as harsh as that may seem. It is your duty to find out about the original spec of the car and to inform the insurer if any of the details have changed. That's not always easy, of course. we had a case of a young man who bought his first car with a spoiler on the back. He went onto the internet and found similar cars of the same model with a spoiler. So he assumed that the car had not been changed. Unfortunately, the car had been stolen. The insurance company discovered that that model was made without a spoiler, so that must have been added by the previous owner. The claim was refused because this information was not disclosed. We were able to show that the current owner had no way of knowing that information and therefore was unable to disclose the information to the insurer. However, it caused him a whole heap of trouble. In another case, a car owner arranged to have his car resprayed with iridescent paint and fitted with tinted windows. The car was involved in a no-fault accident, but the insurer didn't want to know. They cancelled his insurance for failing to disclose the changes to the car. This seems harsh, but the fact the accident wasn't our client's fault didn't stop his policy being cancelled. And this left him on his own to handle for himself the argument with the other driver's insurance company. Insurance companies aren't always that helpful in explaining what changes need to be notified. As a general rule, just have a little think about it, or do some research even, or ask the insurer when you're buying the policy. Sometimes you might end up paying a little bit more for your premium, but at least you'll know you'll be covered when you need it. I can only suggest that you log on to eBay and try and sell your Go Faster stripes, aerofoils and fog lamps. Try and get your money back rather than taking the risk. I know it might make your car look dull and boring, but the truth is that insurance companies quite like dull and boring. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the Flaxman's YouTube channel. And if you want further hints and tips on insurance, go over to our website and sign up to our newsletter. Thank you for watching.